Local election has always been quite important in Hackney, but it seems to me that this round of local election is, in so many ways, more so.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for us at CETRA, it's important to not only for ourselves to gain a better understanding of the dynamics of the local election, but also play a part in encouraging people to show greater interests in the election and to take part in the voting, because I think that will enable the community to raise their voices and be part of the changes that are taking place in Hackney. And in that context, really, Gloria, who is the founding mother of CETRA, came up with the idea of interviewing mayoral candidates.
Which is good.
And so I thought that was a terrific idea. So she gave me the easy job, which is talking to the candidates. And we will be interviewing the candidates. And because of scheduling, not in any order of priority, we have the pleasure of welcoming Mr. Greg, who is representing the Conservative Party in the mayoral election. So we want to welcome you. Thank you for taking the time to speak to us. And maybe we can start by you telling us a little bit about your background, what led you to have an interest in standing for the mayoral election, and then we take it from there.
No, so a little bit of my background. I've lived in Hackney pretty much all my life. Hackney is all I know, apart from when I went to university. Um, like most kids that grew up in Hackney, went to adventure playgrounds, youth clubs, but the problem is they've been closing down slowly and funding's been cut. Like even Hackney Play Association, they're only getting about 300 grand a year to fund them. And even my playground that I went to, Shakespeare Walk Adventure Playground, they need donations to keep it free for kids. And when I was going there, it was free. We had tea, biscuits, coffee. They looked after us. Um, yeah, so went primary school in Hackney, did my school in Hackney, went to university, came back home, and then a lot's changed. When I came, well, it was changing over time, but I didn't really realize it until I was away for 6 years. But I was coming back summertime, Easter time, but wasn't realizing because my head was in my books at the time. And after COVID, stuff started changing drastically. Like we had LTNs coming in, restricted movement. I remember I had pneumonia in 2021, August, and I drove myself to the hospital. I got there within about 5 6 minutes. Got to Homerton from Stoke Newington. But then what I'm seeing now is if you want to get to the hospital, it'll take you an hour from Stoke Newington. Get to town hall, it'll take an hour. Then we've had, but kids with SEN kids or people that had mental health when I was growing up, there were services that helped them. There were services that helped people. You had schools, you had different special needs schools, but they've been closing down slowly. The one opposite Stoke Newington school closed down. I don't know what they're building now. I'm trying to find out what they're trying to build, but can't find nothing online about it. Hackney's just gone bad, and I think the career politicians are not thinking about Hackney. They're thinking more nationally, which, not being funny, national politics is fine, but that's down to Westminster, and London-wide politics is down to City Hall, not Hackney Town Hall. Hackney Town Hall should serve the residents of Hackney. It's like I say to a lot of people, if I get elected, I should say when I get elected, I work for the people at Hackney. They're my boss. They're who I answer to. A lot of people, when you put questions to them, such as members of Green Party and members of Labour, it's a lot arming, and it's like it's a yes or no question. I'm a Hackney resident. You should be held accountable. And there's been people that telling me that this is leading to why I ran. So people saying, especially council tenants, that they've had black mold for 3 months, nothing's been happening. Some people said the LTNs are undemocratic. Yes, they're brought in by my party. I'll get that out there straight away. But they gave the council a mandate of 18 months to decide what you want to do, put it out to the residents, have them have their say. But when they did the online consultation, more than 50% was against it, but they'd never consulted people that are not necessarily good with IT or good with computers. So like our aunties, our uncles, our mothers, our fathers, our grandparents that aren't actually know how to navigate themselves around. And even to navigate to that consultation was hard. It's not there on the main page. You literally have to keep going all around like a snake. And another mother told me that Easter time, she's now working part-time. She's on university credit. She has a master's degree. But because of her young son, and there's no actual youth clubs or even adventure playgrounds when we were younger, because we did our level 1 introduction play together. How they're cutting the funding, the times are getting cut as well. So some adventure playground was open in holidays 9 till 6, 7 p.m. and on Saturdays 9 to 6, 7 p.m. with an hour lunch break in between. And then during the weekdays, it was only open from 3:30, so after you finish school, to about 7 p.m., which is fine. But that's getting cut. Yeah. And I decided to run. So, because I feel that Hackney is failing their citizens, and it needs a citizen to actually run for mayor to try to correct these issues that people are seeing every day. And especially to young youths, I'm only 32 myself. Young youths say, oh, people are not going to listen to us. We're young. Oh, they're just going to throw us away. And I was like, I want to show the next generation that if I can run as mayor, they can run. I want to show the next generation, if I can try to change something, you can try to change something.
Can I? Thank you for that. I wanted if I can unpack some of the issues that you raised. I think one of the my understanding was that you described yourself not as a career politician.
No.
So maybe you could unpack that for us further. But the second element I wanted to touch on is that some of the challenges that you listed in terms of, for instance, the closure of youth centers and accessibility, difficulty for families to navigate the complexity of socioeconomic life in Hackney. I wonder if you could maybe break that down to see how much of that you feel is within the remit of Hackney, and how much of that is really as a result of national politics, particularly during the austerity plans.
Of course.
And thirdly, how would you be able to change some of these shortcomings given the fiscal discipline that the council has to have, which in part again is aligned with the fiscal discipline and the policies of the national state. So there are really three elements here that maybe.
Can I answer the fiscal one first?
Go ahead.
Perfect one. A lot of people have actually asked about that. And so while combing through the council records, I've been finding a lot of mismanagement in funds. So there's a lot I could break down, but I'm going to break down about 4 because obviously time constraints. So let's start with Hackney Town Hall Square. You've seen the square, correct?
Yes.
Is the square okay?
I haven't been there lately, but I don't know what you mean by okay.
So
it's a very subjective thing.
Is it fit for purpose, essentially?
I don't know what the purpose would be. But,
but
you tell me what you feel is the issue with it.
So the issue with the square is that they plan a vision at the council to make it look greener, more trees, and flatten it around to make it lovely so people can sit there. but they budgeted 6 million and change for that project, and that 6 million and change could be used for actual useful services like our youth program, people that has SEN needs, mothers, fathers out there who have kids with learning disability that's waiting for referral.
Forgive me for interrupting,
Yeah.
but you see, it's very easy, it seems to me, to say they are spending X million here and that X million could be used there.
Mhm.
But that's fundamentally an abstract calculation, because unless you precisely cost the areas where you want to make changes, then you could say, okay, to create or to regenerate the youth centers
Yes.
is going to cost X amount of money, £5 million.
Mhm.
The council is spending £5 million on another project, and we go and have a consultation with people and say, okay, for now we take this 5 million and put it there. Otherwise, it's kind of a abstraction, because I could say, it's better to do this and that, but it's not really grounded in hard numbers.
Okay, I think I didn't.
And given that, if I'm not mistaken, you actually haven't, the Conservative Party hasn't produced a detailed financial manifesto or a manifesto for this election. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that how would you break this down to potential voters,
Okay.
so they get a sense and say, okay, this is a calculated, detailed plan, and I'm not just going to vote for Mr. Gregg because he says the square is too expensive and let's spend the money. You see my point?
No. Okay, I think that I answered it in a more generic way. So I'll answer more specifically. So I'll say when I get elected, because I can't speak about not being elected. So what I'll do when I get elected.
You're that sure?
You know what? Manifest it and manifest it.
But forgive me for interrupting you. I mean, historically, Conservatives haven't been of a significant political player in Hackney. And right now you only have around 5 councillors.
Yes.
What makes you think that, bam, it's going to be a big change in
I would say the same about the Greens.
What?
The Greens have not been a
No,
big...
no, I'm asking you. I'm asking
Conservative,
you.
People of Hackney that I talk to have felt that, especially people that's grown up in Hackney for the same amount of years that I have and longer, I felt that Labour has failed them. They felt that. They felt that they've been failed by the current administration in Hackney. They felt that their council tax is going up. They felt that youth clubs, youth centres have been declined. They felt that getting a referral for their children is slowed down. I had a lady, not going to mention names, who had a housing issue. She was getting bounced from housing officer to housing officer to housing officer, to the point when she directly emailed the mayor herself. The mayor said she should pass to the housing team. She asked a follow-up question to the mayor, got ignored. She then asked another councillor who came knocking at the door. The councillor said, "Oh, we haven't got time. We've got to go." She got ignored.
But do you have any statistics to support these claims?
I have.
I mean, to say, there has been a decline in satisfaction by residents amongst this particular demographic group by 14%, and we're going to address that drop of 14% by doing this. Do you have that kind of a detailed analysis and to share with people?
My emails and my social media are getting flooded with messages with the same messages. I'm still going through them slowly to try and build that demographic. It's only been the last week that I've been getting flooded with messages. People that I've been talking to on the streets, I've been talking to them as well, but I haven't had the chance to go through my emails, go through all my messages. I've currently, in my email, I think there's 500 emails. On my Instagram and Facebook page, there's currently 300. I'm trying my best to go through them, and then I can actually make a detailed analysis. I can't comment.
But isn't it a little bit late, because the election is next week?
It is, but at the same time, I can only do my best.
Isn't the Conservative Party machinery sort of supporting you?
They are, but there's TCHQ also have other elections and other candidates to support. I can't be selfish saying they have to support me alone. I'm trying my best to do what I can do for the residents. They've supported me in a lot of my policies. So they only had, I believe, 3 policies: weekly rubbish collections, removal for LTNs,
What is LTN?
low traffic neighborhood,
Okay.
removal of LTNs, and reduction of council tax. They've had a pleasure with that. But then I've talked to them about bringing in support for small business, youth clubs, and Hackney, increase youth funding for youth clubs and Hackney Play Association. I talked to them about reducing parking permits because some parking permits are sky high. People are, so it's a disparity. So you have.
So if you reduce the council tax, reduce the parking permit, and then central governments perpetually are reducing the amount of financial contribution to local authorities, wouldn't you think, would you agree or not that it's going to be quite a challenge to fund things that you want to address?
No.
You don't think so?
No, because Hackney makes.
So it's been calculated
Hackney
to the
makes
last penny.
Hackney makes a lot of money. They make a lot of money. So on council tax alone, without giving it to the money to the London General Authority, so I'm not talking about the share that they have to give up, they currently 1.4 billion and change. It's there in their 25 to 26 budget.
So that's
in the budget book.
the revenue, is it?
That's just from council tax alone. Now, revenues from LTNs, they're making roughly around 5 million change a year on ticket enforcements. Now, they're spending on enforcement action, is which I found, again, looking a minimum 20 mil a year on enforcement action.
So if we do a,
cost analysis?
No, I mean account reconciliation.
Yes.
If we open a one column and say Hackney is earning or generating rather,
I'll say earning
X amount.
Yes.
And their outgoing is X minus Y.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There is a balance.
Yes.
Okay. And so you're saying that they're earning more than what they're spending.
They're overspending.
No. I mean, if their total earning is £100,
yes,
okay, and they're spending £80, is that what you're saying, or they're spending £120? Which one?
So I was saying that Hackney generates around 1.8 billion.
Okay, that's their revenue
in council tax alone, and they give 400 million to LGA.
Okay. But that's only part of a picture. It doesn't give a full picture.
That's what I was trying to break down.
You see, what I'm trying to fundamentally understand is that, I mean, that's a question. I don't know anything about the finances of the Hackney. But what I'm trying to understand is that, are you saying that Hackney spends more than it earns or less than it earns?
More than it earns.
Well, so how do they?
So we're in debt.
Where is the deficit?
We're in debt of 300 mil.
And wait, they borrow that from?
Borrowed it
from whom?
Government, private investors.
And is that just unique to Hackney?
Again,
or all the councils do that?
I'm only concentrating on Hackney.
But I mean, comparatively, do you know if it is a similar challenge?
No, I don't know comparatively. But they could do better. They can manage their funds better. But there's a lot of projects in Hackney that's been over budgeted. There's a lot of hype. So the mayor, for example, her salary is around between 80 to 90 grand a year. That's a lot. Especially for residents of Hackney, who's mostly earning less than half of that.
How much would you like your salary to be? Assuming you get.
I'm happy with 30.
How much?
I'm happy with 30.
I'm happy with that. Yeah. But that's a
I believe
a ramification across council, isn't it? I mean,
can be.
if you're earning 30, and then you want to bring a high flyer accountant or a lawyer or a chartered surveyors, you need to pay them market rate. You okay with that? That you earn a lot less than a chartered surveyor, for
Yes,
example?
the reason why I'm happy with that, again, the people at Hackney are my boss, and I need to be representation of the people who I'm representing. If, for example, Miss Mabel, I'm just making up a name now, is surviving on 24 to 29 grand a year, and that's the majority of the people in Hackney that are surviving on that much. How do I justify making 90 to 100 grand a year? How on earth do I justify living in a nice house, buying a nice brand new car, traveling first class on the people that I represent who's paying my salary? They are paying my salary. I shouldn't be taking more from them than what they get.
So that only stops at the mayor's office. I mean, the rest, you think everybody has to take a pay cut?
Again,
everybody who works for the council, even the street sweeper.
I don't think this. I think they need to make a bit more money.
So they need to. Some people in the council, employees need to get more money, and a very small minority have to reduce cuts.
Reduce, yeah, because at the end of the day, where the residents are paying our salary.
And let's say 5% of the employees they need to have a salary reduction. Is that more of a gesture, or do you think that would impact the economy of the Hackney Council?
That will be both, because you have to be realistic at the end of the day. Some people might not want it. They will impact the council.
But it's a drop in the ocean, isn't it? I mean, if let's say the mayor has, I don't know, earning 100K, it's coming down to 60, please.
So again, like I said, some people will be unhappy with it. Some people will say, okay, it's fair. But then it's an individual perspective, because at the end of the day, not a lot of people publicize their salary. Some people be like, what the hell? And others will be like, oh, thank God, I can afford a shop today. I can afford to pay my light bill. We have residents going without light, living without light, living without gas, because they can't afford it.
Is that would you say that's more of a national challenge, or just a local one?
It's a national challenge, but like I said, I'm concentrating locally on my local residents. Well, my employers, I should call them. I'm concentrating on my employers. At the end of the day.
But wouldn't that put you at odds with the Conservative Party?
It might, but I'm doing what's best for the people. At the end of the day, what is best for the people is what matters. And you don't mind if what you're suggesting or proposing, or the root causes of some of these challenges, are essentially because of Conservative policy? I believe it's a factor of many policies, because before the Conservative Party, you had Labour. Labour was
long time ago. I mean,
yeah, long time ago. But again, I don't like bringing national politics into this. There are some services that are slowly being axed through Labour. Then my party came in. Again, some services again were being axed by my party. Now Labour's coming again, and now things are still being axed. So nationally, a lot of projects are being axed by different parties that's coming in. At the end of the day, one thing MPs do always agree on, I find it's funny, is their salary increase. When they have to vote for it, everyone somehow managed to put their hands up, say, yep, we do that. Okay. With residents, different people disagree, different people agree. It's all over the spectrum. But like I said, I'm here to concentrate about Hackney.
Let me take you in another direction. I think, if I'm not mistaken, historically, Black and Asian residents of Hackney have not very much favored Conservative Party.
Yep, they don't. I've been called a racist.
how are you going, or how have you so far gone about, or intend to go for the remaining few days, to convince them that, irrespective of that, that they feel they have been let down by the Conservatives, how would you, saying that, you look, treat me differently, don't consider me as part of the historical remnant of the Conservative Party, which have really let you down, but vote for me, because I'm the man, I'm the one who can change things.
So I'm going to use a perfect example at the transport LTN, a transport Hoskins that I went to last week. A lot of people were saying this. A lot of the one specific party that was on the table, again, won't mention names, was just reading from a script. People are asking questions. I was answering the residents their questions. I was telling them straight, I'm here as a Hackney resident. I want the people to hold me accountable. You've had other politicians out there that refuse to be held accountable when they say they're going to do something. And even nationally, there's politicians that refuse to be held accountable. But for local Hackney, I'm willing to be held accountable, and any promises that I can't deliver, on the 7th of May, 2027, I'll walk down them steps and there'll be a by-election for someone that can do it better. Because if I can't do most of those changes within a year, I don't deserve to be Mayor of Hackney. I don't deserve to work for the residents of Hackney. That's me failing the residents. That's me breaking promises. And I will be held accountable for every single action I take, every single promises.
So, but what specific actions will you implement, given that I don't, I'm not sure that there is in your manifesto? What specific actions will you take in order to address the challenges that the Black and the Asian and other ethnic minority groups feel in Hackney? What would you do for them?
So if we're talking specifically about youth now, I'll list actually everyone. So let's start with children.
No, let's stick to
No,
black and
no, that's what I'm trying to
Asian
get to.
community.
That's literally what I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm talking. Let's start with the children first,
Okay.
right? Within the Black Asian community. Now, with a lot of the children, let me be delicate how I say this. A lot of the children feel, and from when we've been growing up as kids, I've experienced this. Oh, you're not good enough because of the color of your skin. Oh, you can't do this because of your color of the skin. Look at who's there. That's for the children. The reason why I want to step into the Mayoral, I want to show the young Black and Asian kids and the young Turkish kids that, wait, someone of color can do it. I can do it. Now to the youths, I want to educate the youths and show them there's more to life than trying not to do nothing. There's more what you can do. If I can do it, you can. And to even some of the adults as well, there's a systemic inheritance telling them, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough. The mentors that I had growing up, I can mention Anthea, one of the play leaders, Shona. Those are elder Black aunties that basically, you can do it, don't listen. And they made me push out. Because of them, I did well in school. Went to university. And because of them, how they impacted my life as a kid growing up, I'm now running for mayor. And I want to show the young kids, especially of ethnic minority, that they can, if I can do it, they can do it. I'm only 32. I'm not 50. I'm not 40. I'm not an old elder person who's a career politician. I'm a resident like them. I grew up in the same estate as they did. I played around in the same estate as they did. A lot of politicians now can't actually say, yeah, I played in the same estate as Sean across the road. We played run-outs together.
And that makes you not a career politician. Is that?
That makes me not a career politician. Two, it makes me a leader and a mentor to the young Black and Asian kids and the community.
But you will be a politician once you are elected into
job
office.
Title is semantics. Yes, job title. Yes, Mayor Hackney class as a politician, but I don't class myself as a politician.
So you right now you are not a career politician, but you're involved in politics and you want to hold a political office. I'm just
In
trying to
Hackney,
understand the journey.
I don't. I'm not. I don't have my mindset on City Hall
No,
or
no,
Number
no, no.
10.
I mean, in Hackney.
Only in Hackney because I feel like the residents have been let down. All residents have been let down
And,
in Hackney.
and I'm just trying to understand, as someone who you describe yourself as not a career politician, and as you already touched, that there isn't a deep statistical analysis of the level of satisfaction or happiness or otherwise of the community. How did you arrive? What have been your practical experience dealing with the community at large uh, to let you think that these are the specific problems and are the specific solutions? Not so much your own personal experience,
Okay.
but
Within the community.
engagement beyond your personal
Okay, so
experience.
beyond my personal experience, is especially when I was coming home from uni, just chilling with my friends. They said how Hackney's gone worse. Friends that I've had been moved out to Birmingham for gentrification. A lot of gentrification has been taking place in Hackney. Church Street's not unrecognizable, and business that's been there before ours have said that they've been getting priced out. I've had a local Caribbean shop that said that they're getting priced out. There was a Caribbean restaurant with a bookshop that got, they've tried to renew their lease with Hackney Council. They said no and bought in a Harvest. A, in a Caribbean community, a Caribbean restaurant slash bookshop with Caribbean literature has been moved out, has been priced out. They can't afford. My friends are telling me how they can't afford to live in Hackney no more because they just keep putting, the council keeps putting the rent up all the time. My friends are saying that when they're trying to drive their parents to the hospital for the help, he don't mind me using this. So my friend Charles, for example, when his mother has a foot issue, when he has to take his mother to hospital, it takes over an hour to get there, and they're stressed because they're late for the appointments, and she can't take public transport. Even when he's not there and she's trying to get a taxi, some taxis refuse to come get her because it take them longer, take them an hour, and they've been priced out as well. It's before, I think she said mentioned about how it was £10 to get to Homerton Hospital by taxi. Now it's £30.
So has been more of your personal experience, and have you been involved in any community-led activities, initiatives, or volunteer work, try to address some of these challenges? I mean, for example, the restaurant that, the business that had to close down.
Yes.
Did you do anything to help this person survive it?
At the time, I was 17 years old, so there isn't a lot that I could have done back then. But that's how long ago that's been changing. What I'm currently doing, especially with some residents that's come to me, I've asked them, give me a problem, and I've put to some of my councillors to put to the Hackney Mayor and the Hackney leadership. So I have been passing on information to members of my party who are councillors to pass it on and try get it dealt with, and then liaising back with that specific resident. As for volunteering, I do a lot of community-led projects, like sometimes help out in the adventure playgrounds, and sometimes I do. So like there's this charity that does a bit triathlon. I help them with volunteering action, help with the safeguarding, and I do volunteer for the London Ambulance Service as well. So through that, I've seen a lot. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think I'm conscious of the time, so I have just one more question. Hackney is going through regeneration, gentrification, and there is an acute housing shortage. What would you be doing to address that?
Oh, that's a good question. So with the housing, so for example, see that over there? Those are being built, and
so maybe for the benefit of our listeners to say,
yeah, there's a new bill. So there's a new bill literally right next to this estate, and for that new bill, only the developers only need to give 20% of the housing to social housing. But also, they don't have to do that because there's no contract. They can take a fine and say that, oh, we're building a gym, building a Tesco's for the local community and get away with it that way, which is unfair. For housing shortage, I can't say the council will 100% build houses with their own funds. I'll work 50-50 with developers, mandating that 50 to 60% of the housing development that they're building is to social housing. Because it'd be unrealistic to say that the council can 100% build it.
Mm-hmm.
And with doing it 50-50, half-half with developers, we can still save money, but also committing to our residents and freeing up the 8,500 people that's still waiting for a home. Whereas Labour, I believe, promised 3,000 homes, and that was, I think, back in 2018. Let's take away COVID, 2 years, people can't work.
But have you done the financial costing of what you are proposing versus the current model?
Yes, I have.
The 50, and would you be sharing that with the residents before the election?
Yes.
Why haven't you done it so far?
Huh?
Why haven't you done it so far?
Because
housing is a big issue.
No, so at Acorn, so there was an Acorn Hustings that I was at, and I did share the plans with the residents there. I did mention straight that Hackney council spaces of council tenants, we will build, we'll work 50-50 with developers, go half, look at the cost benefits, look around for developers there. Not saying we'll do it the cheapest way, but try and find the most cost-effective way and the safest way for our new residents and make sure the place is accessible. And therefore, we be the landlords such as the developers, but there'll be more housing for our residents because giving 20% away is nothing. 100, if you build 100 homes, only 20 homes is for social housing. So 20 out of 8,500 people, that's a drop in the ocean.
I know, but what I'm trying to say is that it might be a brilliant idea, but for instance, I as a local resident will say, okay, show me the numbers, and you haven't done that.
So on Thursday, numbers will be going out.
Thursday, which is what, the day after tomorrow?
Yeah.
So the day after tomorrow, which is 30th of April, you're saying that the financial details surrounding the housing issues you just shared.
Not only the housing, other stuff. So
pardon?
Not only housing, with everything that I've mentioned in my manifesto, financial planning will be going out for everything, so that people can get a financial comprehension of what their money will be used for.
Okay, so by Friday I can come back to you and
ask you to come back
and say,
yes,
walk us through this financial.
Yes, because it will be a very crazy document.
Very good. Okay. Well, I think we are running out of time, and is there anything you would like to shout out to end our conversation? Do you have any messages for people? Anything you want to say?
So for the residents of Hackney, my plan is simple. And again, I'm not going to jargon and be vague about what I'm doing. Simple. Open the roads, getting rid of LTNs, but with the consultation of the people. Second, reducing council tax. Thirdly, increasing funding for Hackney Place Association and youth clubs and apprenticeship schemes for our young adults. Fourth, increasing funding again for our kids with SEN and supporting our parents who are struggling at the moment. 5, bring back weekly rubbish collection for households because it's unfair that your rubbish is piling up, and we want to make sure Hackney is rodent free. Reduce parking permit because it's not fair a doctor has to pay £5,000 or £3,000 just to go visit a resident for maybe 20 minutes. And it's not fair as well for a resident to be paying £700 for their car because of the engine size or whether it's diesel or electric. But then a van that's electric is paying like £13 or £50 a year. And that takes up more space. It's all about spacing.
Okay. Well,
thank you very much.
Not at all. So I think hopefully by Friday we will see
Yes.
all the costing, and there would be some forensic accounting analysis of these to find out how realistic they are.
Of course.
But thank you so much for coming
No worries.
and giving us your time, and hopefully it will be an interesting election, and
I think this
we'll
election will
see
be
what
very
people
interesting,
will
to be
do.
honest.
Thank you very much, and
No worries.
have a very lovely day. Thank
Thank
you.
you kindly.